here. Today we are going to be doing a 2018 fashion frame. This is going to be just kind of my updated builds as to my fabulous frame video that I've already posted. There's been a couple of new frames that came out. There's been a ton of 10 gen, a few deluxe skins, stuff like that. There's been a bit, and every time I went to record this video, something new was announced and I wanted to wait for it. So now everything's been released that I know of, and I can actually get this video done. So without any further ado, let's get started. Starting off this list, we have Ash. I just use the Prime variants of the Warframe, so I won't be showing my regulars. But Ash Prime is pretty much identical to the way I had him before. There's really not much that I can improve on these, in my opinion. I absolutely love his design, especially with the skin. The helmet is just amazing. I've tried this with so many different colors, but the red just fits him so well. The only other real thing that I can play with this is going like full on Ninja Gaiden and going like gold and purple. Now, I don't like this one as much, but this skin is very, very awesome. You can play with so many colors on this. Just great. Now my C is a little bit of a play around, I guess. I was trying to build a Batman, and we'll see that come back in a couple later frames. But yeah, there's Ash. Now for Atlas, I just kind of have one skin and helmet setup that I like so far. I just kind of play with the colors a little bit. So A and B are pretty much identical, just a couple small differences. Again, like, this is really the only way I'll build my Atlas for fashion frame, because right now I'm not really in love with any of the other fashion choices. I really hope he gets a better skin, or a more aggressive skin that actually pops, kind of like a Rhino skin where it makes him look tough and actually like a fighter. This one just kind of, I don't know, poofy pants kind of makes him look like he's in a Shakespeare play. But I really like that helmet with the spikes. The shoulders on the skin, the spikes coming out of his arms and his feet are really cool. And then I'm just trying to figure out color scheme wise, that's what I run with generally. The armor, I just like to add a little bit more beef to him on his shoulders. That's why those are there. Other than that, I mean, that's Atlas. Alright, now to get into Banshee Prime. Now, Banshee's a Warframe that I absolutely love the way she looks stock. So my C is literally just her stock, but we're going to get to that. The A, I really like it. It almost looks like kind of like a demonic helmet almost. It reminds me of something that I can't really put my finger on, but I absolutely love it. But I couldn't go dark colors on her. To me, she's just I don't know, just a lighter frame, and I like having the grays and the yellows on her. I've also gone purples, and I tried to find a gold for her, but this is the way I like this skin and everything, and this is really awesome. The Titania Noble animation set goes really well to pretty much any of the female frames, I find, but Banshee pulls it off almost better than Titania does. My B is a little bit more of a grounded, almost like a ready for war. This would be kind of like my fighter Banshee. This would be more of my caster Banshee, I guess, if you really had to sum those up. But my builds stay the same between them, obviously. I really like this helmet. From the back, it almost looks like it's got a bow tie in the back of her hair kind of thing. It's just awesome. It's a gold piece in the front. It's just really, really good looking helmet. The skin is a very simplistic, very clean cut, nice lines, nice coloring. Lotus. Even though you're going, you still make a lot of noise. And then, as I said, C is legitimately just Banshee Prime, and I absolutely love that. The helmet, the skin, everything just goes together really well. So yeah, there's Banshee. And now for the ultimately nerfed Chroma. Still usable, thank God, but obviously Fashion Frame has a bit of a useful aspect to Chroma, in the sense that his energy color changes. His energy type: cold, heat, toxin, electric. I usually go for a cold tank. That's hence why this is cold. Threw the cape on there and took off his extra little lobster bits, because I don't know, just with the white, I don't really like it there. With the B, I did take it off for the Cyandana. Now, this one I had the wings for quite a while, but I found when I was playing, they kind of got a little annoying to look at. Looking at them in this stance, I like them, but when you're actually playing, to me, they're a little too much. So this here is my fire tank build. Again, not really much changes between the two, except there are a couple armor choices and then color scheming. Just kind of go for a darker, more evil chroma. And then during one of the primetime streams, I was looking at one of Megan's colors, and I did a thing. So this is kind of like my take on Megan's color scheme. I decided to do it on possibly my favorite frame in the entire game. I kind of want to perfect that and have like a bubblegum chroma, but well, we'll see how that goes. Right now, this is the main one that I run, just because I like the cold tank. So that's chroma. Now, Ember Prime is kind of a weird one for me because there's really only one color scheme that I think fits Ember, and that is a very warm red and yellow. I've tried the cold colors on her. I've tried so many other different things, and just to me they don't fit the Warframe, and it doesn't make sense. I like having the Fire Warframe, hot colors, just to me that makes sense. Which I'm going to contradict myself on that later on, but you'll see. So the Majesty skin and helmet are really, really nice, with the oranges and the grays. Like, to me, I'm absolutely in love with this. That silver shiny color there down on her legs up into her waist, I did have that gold, and the yellow part that is now yellow was gray, but just the way it played on the rest of the skin, I didn't really like it, so I had to change it to that, and I like that. Still a bit shiny, but I would have preferred that to be gold, but again, just the way the rest of the skin color just kind of threw that off for me. My B is more of my this is what I always ran Ember before really anything came out. This is simply Immortal and Phoenix helmet. This is old school build that I've had for Ember for a long time. And then we had the Vermilion helmet and the Vermilion skin come out. These are awesome. I can't get over how great and clean and good these lines are for Ember. Everything colors so well. It's got nice contrast, forearms and legs, everything else dark, bright colors, and it really just makes her pop, and the helmet is just awesome. I can't really say much. Like, this is just a gorgeous skin, and you can do so much with it. Now with Equinox, I really only found one setup that I like. She doesn't really have too much available for her, obviously, because when you're doing Tenogen for her, you have to do 3 modes, neutral, day and night. That's a lot of work. You're basically doing 3 different Warframes, and you're only getting 1 skin, technically. So I can understand why there's only 1 Tenogen for her, but I really want more. Equinox is right up there with my favorite frames. She's got so many uses, and she's just an overall great frame to play, and this to me is really cool. And you get into the Metamorphosis, you've got the Night form, which, you know, a little bit darker, more elegant. The oranges pop a little bit more. Everything's kind of flows nice into a fade into the dress. I really like the orange and the gray setup. And then when you switch into day form, everything's white and yellow, and it's bright like the day form would be, with a little bit of shadow. And that's like, the skin is so awesome. And the neutral form itself, I mean, you don't really see that too often when you're actually playing, but it is nice to look at when you're in a relay or when you're in your ship. So definitely more Equinox, please. Now for Excalibur, we're going to be using right away the Corpora skin and the Corpora helmet. Like, I absolutely love this Corpus theme skin for him. It kind of gives him an edge that, in my opinion, that none of really the other Warframes have. I mean, he has the most potential to do things with him with the obsidian skins and such like that, but this skin and this armor goes together so well with the shiny bits, the leather in the background. The armor itself fits so perfectly with the helmet, and it just goes together really well, especially with the when you pop his his 4th ability there, and it just kind of reminds me of General Grievous, a robot using a lightsaber. Just amazing. The other two builds are kind of the same, but I wanted to represent TennoCon. I will be there, 2018. TennoCons will be a third year that I've gone, and I will hopefully be able to make it every year. So I'm wearing the TennoCon armor, the 2017 TennoCon Sayandana, and I have the 2016 TennoCon symbol on my chest. You can't really see it because of the way it's colored, but if you look really closely, it's in gray right there on his stomach. And then C is the actual setup that I use for this skin. And this Dex helmet and Dex skin is possibly my favorite skin in the game. This is an amazing, amazing skin. That helmet looks sick. It colors great. The only thing that I would have to say is that that metal on the legs is a little too much for me. Like, if that would have been a matte color, that would have been really cool. With just the metal on his arms and on his stomach there, that would have been perfect. But I mean, all in all, it's a great skin, and Excalibur is just, I need more slots. Now for my most used frame, Frost. Now this is the one that made me really want to wait, because I've wanted this helmet ever since I seen it on PC so badly. The Summit helmet for Frost is absolutely amazing. From every angle, I absolutely love it. And the Hailstorm skin with the shiny bits with the metal, I've tried that in several different colors, orange, blue, but that gold right there just pops to me, and I absolutely love it. I tried to go for more of a cool edge color with him, but I like the orange coming out of his arms and a little bit of contrast in the color there. But he's still very much Frost. Now, shiny abs, I mean, this one pretty much speaks for itself. I had to just go with the Harka helmet and Harka skin together. Again, I really like the robes on the bottom, the symbols, the boots. The boots are crazy looking and they're amazing. And then the actual metal in the chest, the abs, the arms, it just looks really cool. I think my only problem with this one is the dangly bits on the helmet just kind of, to me, take away from the whole thing. Big, tough guy, ox, minotaur, dangly earrings, to me it doesn't fit. And finally C, just a very simple, glossed Prime skin. Regular Prime, nice and blue, nice and simple. For Yura, I only have an A setup right now just because there's not a lot to go with her. The Sayandana that she came with, I'm not a huge fan of, so I just threw on the, I think that's the Telos one. Again, I tried a bunch of different colors for that glass. You can't make that glass yellow, it looks like pee. I tried to make it gold. There's no yellow that I can find in any of the color palettes that actually looks like gold on that glass. I think red and green looked the best for me, and just for my taste, I like the red on the gray, so yeah, that's my Gara. Another skin that I really wanted as soon as I saw it, the Grax skin for Harrow. Again, this skin, I can go on and on and on. The boots, the legs, the shape of the dress, the spikes on his hips, the way his chest forms, his shoulders, his elbows, like just the helmet, everything with this just goes together so well. And just kudos to DE for this one. This was an amazing idea, and it came into a really great skin. The B, I've got a little bit more of a basic Harrow set, just the Sovereign helmet, or Suffragan helmet, I could never pronounce anything. And just the regular Harrow skin with more very simplistic chrome gray feel with a little bit of orange accents. Again, you can really do a lot with so many different frames, but I like the more simplistic style on Harrow. Now for Hydroid, I did a oopsie. My A was my absolute favorite, and I hit random, so I got a really weird color scheme, and I had to delete it because I was not happy with it. So my B and C. My B, this is the closest I can get to what my original was, rocking the TennoCon 2018 armor there. I really like this pirate skin for Hydroid. It looks so good. But the Grax skin with the helmet, to me, just kind of adds that little, I don't know, to me they fit a little better. The actual Hydroid Prime skin, I don't know, it didn't fit the helmet as well as I thought the Grax skin did. And to me, I just like the way the Grax skin colors just a little bit better. Speaking of Grax, I can go Grax helmet and Grax skin on this one. And again, I really like the way the Grax skin colors, and the way it flows. And the Grax helmet goes well with pretty well anything on Hydroid, but it does fit perfectly with the skin, which makes sense. God of Sands, enter Sandman, this amazing top, like, S tier Warframe, the unkillable Inaros. Now, this is another one that I'm going to need multiple slots of. If they're just going to keep handing us Egyptian gods, I am going to need many slots. The Horus skin, Horus helmet, great set. I try to go with more of like an Egyptian gold, brown, gray, generally for him. Oh, Lotus.
Check navigation.
When are they going to finish that and actually let us have Umbra? Now in for the B, I kind of go again. So I kind of look at the grays, the golds, the blacks. I get a little bit off my Egyptian color scheme there, but I really like the way this sits. The dangly bit on the back there, kind of with the Hero Noble animation set, that looks a bit weird with a clipping issue there, but I prefer to run Inaros with no signed in. I just love the way the back looks on both of them. The gold and everything just looks sick. And the newest skin is probably my brightest skin. And again, this kind of goes off like the Gods of Egypt, the movie, where the gold running through their veins and they can transform into these gold and silver creatures. And that looks, to me, that looks friggin' awesome. It's like a primed, but not Inaros. It's really cool. Now, to go with the Vaara, I tried to go with like a stealth, very black, with a little bit of contrast on the armor here, and it didn't really pan out as great as I thought it would. So I did a little bit more what I'm used to, and I went with actual colors, made things flow a little bit, actually gave her a decent animation set, and this is how I run my Vaara now. I really like the helmet and the skin together, just they go together, which makes sense. It's a set. I don't use Vaara as much as I should, but I mean, again, this is probably the only way I'll ever run her. Those like ghostly garbs around her waist just, to me, make this skin. Yeah, there's really not much I can say about this one. I really like it. Again, simplistic, clean lines. This one's a little more complicated when you get into like the chest and stomach area, with a bunch of different lines and patterns and stuff, but still very clean. There's no weird coloring where one color looks odd on another because of the placement, so very well done. Limbo for me is a hard one because I don't like Limbo just as a frame. So I kind of just go with the Joker, tried to go with the Joker aspect there, more of like what I would imagine Limbo to be, you know, dark purples and stuff like that, kind of like being banished to the void. That one I had tried to have a little bit more fun with and kind of depict what I would imagine an actual Joker character to be in Warframe. Loki Prime, I picked one skin, one color scheme, and I left it on him, and I mean, it's stuck with me so far. I've yet to find another skin and color set that I like more than this on him. I don't know why. I really don't. Like, I look at this and it looks cheesy, it looks weird, it looks odd, but I absolutely love it. And I guess that's the way Loki is, right? Mischievous. Now with Meg, I went two very different ways with this one, and I had to wait for a skin to come out for her, and we saw this many times, and when it finally came out, I had a big sigh of relief. Now this first one, I really like the particle effects on the helmet, and I really like the way the rest of the suit just, I don't know, pops. It reminds me again, like just something I can't put my tongue on, my finger on, I just can't touch it. But I absolutely love this suit. The way it colors is really cool, and I like the purple inside up with it. This is probably the one where I don't really like the Titania animation set on this one. I don't know why. When you get into the next one, though, it's got so many floating bits on it. The arms really aren't attached. It got that floating thing on the back of the neck. This just makes sense to have floating because everything else is floating on her. So make her float just, to me, makes sense. Very metal robot, gold, silver, beige here. And like I can't get over this. It's almost an angelic Warframe, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's like Arceus if it was a Warframe. Now for Harley Quinn. when Mirage Prime came out, I was kind of in a hurry to get this one done. And I didn't realize that I didn't have my nice skins in the way I like to play on my actual Mirage Prime, so I'm gonna have to show my regular Mirage for this one because I actually did some work on there, not realizing that it wasn't my Mirage Prime, so I'm gonna have to try and copy it over. But my Mirage Prime that I run is this. This is what I have on it. Again, just Prime, gold, metal, simplistic colors, the kind of things that I've shown quite a bit so far. But I do have, in my opinion, a pretty good setup for kind of like a Harley Quinn, and then something that goes just way out of left field. So here's my, what I would imagine Harley Quinn in this game. So I have a Joker and I have a Harley Quinn, and I'm attempting to do a Batman. Again, we're going to get into Batman in a sec, but I think I found my Batman. Now the Harley Quinn, I had a really hard time picking another color. Red, black, obviously. But I didn't want to do another black, and I didn't want to do another red, so I tried picking a white, and white was too poppy, so I finally picked on the gray, and I tried to do a little bit of an accent with the purple, with the energy color, but it didn't really show through as much as I wanted it to. Again, I'll probably play around with that purple a little bit to see if I can get it to pop more, but and the one that came out of left field is, and I'm amazed I like this so much, it's really complicated in the way the lines swerve, and metal on black and everything else. It's a pretty loud skin with the decorations and everything on the legs and just above the crotch area on the abdomen, and I still like it. Like I usually like more simplistic things, but this is really, really cool for a Mirage, and I really want to copy this over my Mirage Prime, and it just really, really well done. Now, Necros Prime is one that I've always loved the looks of, and again, this is something that I've done so many different renditions of that I just had to try everything, but I've kind of picked a color scheme that I like with him, and then just kind of had to find skins that I liked. So just the Immortal skin and the Lazarus helmet, kind of just for my usual running around. I got more of like what I would imagine a Reaper to be, more spikes, more devilish, the spiky Cyandana with the energy on it. More of like a black versus the more gold that I had in A. And then the C is like my Phantom setup, the newest, the ear Kala skin and helmet. The holes through him. I didn't really like seeing through him to the background, so I had to put a cape on him, so I couldn't actually see through the frame, but being able to see the cape in the background is really cool, in my opinion. Again, I love the feet. It's kind of like a double heel, but even though it's in a guy frame, that actually kind of looks pretty cool. Nidus, I really wanted to go with more of a fleshy, more of a muscle skin color, but the way he colors doesn't really work with how I wanted to do it, so I decided to go with more my usual coloring, more grays, reds, browns, stuff like that, with the oranges and yellows, and to me it worked out really well. I mean, I like the way this looks. I did go a little bit of a different way with the colors, kind of getting in more of the gray and the black on this one, very straying from what I was trying to stick with, the more natural kind of browns and charcoal grays. But again, I think it really came out really well. The contrast in the colors and the pop from the actual, the gray and the yellow, or the orange and the yellow, sorry, when he mutates, it's just, I really, really like it. And then I tried to go a little more with like a weirder gray, and it's kind of worked out. I am going to play around with that a little more, because I want to find more of like a tinted color. I don't really want to know if I want to tint towards the gray that I did now. I might go closer towards a brown, but as of right now, this is what I'm playing with. But I'm hoping we get a decent skin for him soon, but the base skin and base helmet's amazing. I don't like his alternate helmet right now, so I'm hoping they come out with a new helmet for him that actually fits. Now on to Nova Prime. Nova has some pretty interesting skins that I have no idea what to do with. She's got the one where she has multiple hands and stuff while she's casting, and I really, really like it. I just have no idea how to color it, so I'm not there yet. I have a work in progress on my C, but I'm not going to show that to you yet until I have it done. Right now, this is how I normally run my Nova. I do have a bit more of a simplistic one that isn't so loud like this one. Just Prime and Slipstream. Again, this is what I would generally go with, but the way it colors to me is kind of funny. This one to me is more of like a prime, right? It's got gold trim, a little bit dark, mostly white. I really like the back on this one. Like I really like the back on this one, the way it kind of comes around the Syndana. Again, if it colored a little better, and didn't have such broad color margins in the like actual torso crotch leg area, then I might like this a little more. But right now it's a bit iffy on me. And then once I actually get my C figured out, then I'll actually have two really nice ones and then one in progress. So next I found a skin that I really like and tried to find colors for it, and I kind of made like a yin and yang thing here. So the first one is mostly white, a little bit of black, and then a lot of gold. And the second one is again a lot of gold, but I like it more like a carbon fiber and the gray in the crotch, versus kind of like white, almost looks like a fabric, along the top of the legs, the butt, and then in the crotch and up by the waist there. When it's darker, it looks like more of a carbon fiber, and it looks really cool, but it looks so different between the two color schemes that this skin is so versatile, and the helmet is just amazing that you can really color this anyway and it'll look good. I just like the gold. And then my C is the Carnifex skin and helmet. Like this looks really good.
On navigation 10-0.
About S. Again, I tried to go for more of like a fleshy color on this at first, and to me it just didn't work out. So I went back to the roots, what I usually play with, grays, darker grays into blacks, and then the orange and the yellows. This will be touched again in the near future. I don't like it being so bright, so poppy. I would like this to be a little darker, because the other two are very bright. So I want this to be a little darker and make her seem kind of natural, almost kind of, again, play into the browns and stuff like that. Now on to the horny frame. Horny because almost every single helmet he has either horns or an antler of some sort. Now the Feyark skin is amazing. The Feyark helmet, to me, not so much. Well, I have a deer helmet on right now, and it just, to me, fits so much better. Again, with the chrome and everything and the gold, you kind of get that I have a thing. Getting into the B, I tried to get a little bit more dark, going in for more grays versus whites, and then tried to tap into a different gray. I almost went green with those spots down there in the accents, but I haven't found a green that I like with that yet. This to me fits for now, and I'm probably going to get rid of the yellow secondary on this one and go for probably more of like a grayish or like an orangish, but really dark. Again, I'm going to try and make this one a little more sinister, more dark, like with my C on my Nyx. The Taurus helmet to me is amazing. Like I just have a hard time finding a skin that actually works with it. I really wish they would have come out with almost like a prime skin, but the prime skin with Oberon is like almost looks Corpus-y with the tangly bits on the front and the back, and I don't like that with this helmet. So I need a new skin for Oberon so I can actually match it with this helmet. But this helmet is on point. I absolutely love this helmet. And then I tried to fix the shoulders on this skin because I don't 100% like them with the armor, and it works for me, but I shouldn't have to fix a skin, I guess, but you can't please everybody, and when it comes to fashion frame, I have weird tastes. So this is one of those deluxe skins that I'm not too happy about. I don't like the helmet at all. Like there's a lot of people who spoke so highly of this that I've seen. The skin is really good, bit loud for me, a lot of weird patterns and shapes going on, and it colors kind of funny, but it's really nice skin. It's got some color contrast and stuff like that into it. I couldn't find something that would flow nice that I really wanted to. I wanted to do something almost like my Mag with the angelic kind of metals and grays and stuff like that with her, but I just couldn't get it to work with this skin. So I'm going to try and go for more of a darker build, but right now this is what I'm going for, mainly because of the hands. You go into like a gold on the back, and then you've got like orange fingers and yellow like sharp fingernails. I don't know. That's kind of why I picked the costume based on her hands. The rest of it is just really really loud, even for me. And I gotta find a quieter color scheme for this one. I love her plume. I really do. And sticking with just the regular helmet and the regular skin, kind of playing with the blues, getting a little more color in this one because, musical Warframe got a little bit more color with her. Again, this is very loud. Again, you've seen skins that, so far that are very, very loud. But I really like this. It kind of separates, the gold separates kind of the dark from the light. The patterns kind of add something to it. It's really nice. And the shoulder blades, to me, for the wings, she's flying. I'm a loser. And C, I mean, this is what I wanted for her A. Like this like metallic, angelic, kind of like almost like a light, I don't know, like platinum color, dark platinum color. But I really like this skin, the way it colors. To be completely honest, the pigtails are a little bit much. If they were smaller, or if they, stuck out from her back more, so there wasn't so many weird clipping issues, then I would like them more. But definitely good idea with those pigtails and the energy coming out of the back of her helmet. I just think they're a little bit much. They're a little big. If they were more of like a slipstream like fire kind of sticking out a little more, I'd probably like them a bit more than I do. But they are definitely exceptionally usable. Just they could use a little bit of tweaking, but all in all, very, very good job on the Diva skin. And again, just kind of the wings on the shoulders. She's flying it. To me, it just kind of fits. So, being someone who runs Rhino quite often, I have to find skins that I can actually sit there and stare at the frame for a long period of time. And I don't like the wind-up toy thing on the back of Rhino. So I always have to change his skin or put a sign down on it to hide that, because it actually bothers me. It makes me twitch, and it is horrendous, and I wish they would just take it off. But the Mastodon skin is amazing. I absolutely love it. It fits Rhino perfectly, and just makes me think of a Marvel villain. You probably all know who I'm saying. For me, this is my Batman. This is my Batman. And to me, this is probably as close as Batman as I'm ever going to be able to make in Warframe, and I absolutely love it. And then my just general uses for Rhino. This is usually what I'll go to if I'm running with a squad, but again, that I had to put that signed in on, because like none of the other signed in is that aren't full capes that have really weird clipping issues with Rhino, just because of how back his shoulders are and his elbows are. You run into issues with a chroma as well, but I almost took the cape off chroma, to be honest, but I don't like the wings on the lobster. So with Rhino here again, like I really wish they would just take that spinning thing off. That's why I do this kind of skin here. I do like the Palatine helmet and the Palatine skin. I just couldn't find a spot for it. Again, I need more than 3 slots to actually have my full fashion frame on this. But there's my Rhino. My Batman. I'm Batman. Saren is a Warframe that can get very, very loud, very, very fast, but she can also be very nice and calm and, quiet with the greens, very Poison Ivy-esque. And I really like this, and it's, colored to me properly. Again, this is what I would imagine with Saren, because thinking poison, but then when you start thinking of plants, you can get very, very different. Now the problem with plants is they come in many colors, and you can fight with this so much to get the different, hues and everything with the nice color fades. So I started playing with it a little more into cooler colors. So there's a lot you can do with this. It's more of like Avatar-esque blue, green, glowy. But this is normally the one that I run with when I actually run Saren. I don't know, I just really like the way it looks with the orange on top, the greens. The greens look really good on the A. I tried to make this one kind of like a reddish gold, but I couldn't really get it to work. I was trying to make this one the green one, but I figured flowers are more colorful anyway. Titania is a very busy frame. She's got a lot of moving parts, a lot of flapping. I just kind of added wings to her and let it go and just went with a metallic color on this one. The back is really, really busy when it comes to dangly bits and everything, but I really like the looks of Titania. I really want a helmet. I want a better helmet for Titania. Both the helmets that she has, I just not a huge fan of, and even the newest one that came out for the Halloween with her, I'm not a huge fan of. I tried to go with more of a gold set on this one, less busy on the back there without the giant wings. And I again tried to go for quieter set, but I went for Halloween colors because I'm using the Halloween skin and the Halloween helmet. Again, not a huge fan of the helmet. She needs new helmets, so I have more to choose from. Titania is one of my favorite frames to actually play as. Obviously not going anything too high. The new Endless Survival Kuvas, I like running her, just because there are a lot of people and I can fly around with the Dex Pixie and cause some pretty fun. To be completely honest, Trinity Prime's base skin is actually really nice. I love the skin, I love the helmet, but when the Nidus helmet and the Knight S skin came out, I was very happy. It kind of added a different aspect to her that I had never really seen before, and it made me compact her and just completely recolor her. And I'm absolutely in love with this skin, and it made me make her fly. Titania is usually more of a grounded frame for me, but when this skin came out, it kind of made me see her more, I don't know, just in a different light. Instead of the giant head, she has a smaller head with just a bigger butt. But I don't know. I can't explain why this made me see her differently, but it did. And she's a lot more simplistic in her color scheme now. I had a lot of weird reds and oranges and stuff before, but I'm really liking what I did to her. And realistically, all the skins that I can see her being in fit her really well. And Titania being really the only exceptional support frame that we have, you gotta make her look good. Coming up to the end here, we got the Valkyrie, and again, much like Loki, I just kind of went for a very pointy, very sharp, very I don't know, odd color scheme that in a way I'm not a huge fan of, but at the same time I just can't bring myself to change it, and I like it enough that when I play as this. I tried kind of on a dare to see if I can build a Batgirl, and it failed quite bad. So let's just stick to this one. The cheetah helmet to me is really well done. I love the points on it, but it's not too much, and the face has just enough color, like lining and accenting color and stuff like that, to make it pop. It's not a weird face line structure. Like, it's not, I can't really explain this. There's a couple helmets that I don't like for this reason, but it does the actual lining properly on this helmet, and I really like it. The Immortal skin for Valkyrie, I tried to use the Prime skin, but to me it just didn't fit the color scheme as well, so I went with this. I still can't believe I failed that so bad. Vaara, I'm having a lot of trouble with. His feet look like snowplows. He overall looks like a Mr. Freeze if Mr. Freeze had spikes all over him. I tried to make him as metal as possible because that's really what he reminds me of, is like a robot, like a BattleBot robot. Lotus. Like a BattleBot robot kind of thing, like Battle Dome robots with like the hammers that fall down. Somebody's gonna know what I'm talking about. But I would really like more, I don't know, rounded kind of skin to him. Not round edges, but just not so pointy, I guess. Volt, I usually only use Volt when I'm Eidolon hunting, and when I think of Volt, I think very bright. I think very showy, very sparky, very loud color schemes. And I tried to make him very cotton candy-y, like my, bubblegum chroma. It just didn't work. So I went from 2 horns to 1 horn, kind of darky gray, fine lines, flat colors, to very bright whites, and that's pretty well all I can do to him. because anything else that I put onto him just kind of didn't really fit. And when I'm fighting an Eidolon, I don't want to see a giant pink spot on my back, which is pretty much what ends up happening. That black spot is what I had like right there on his mid back where the gold trim is. I had that all pink at one point, and it just did not work very well when I was Eidolon hunting. It was quite distracting. Wilcock is one that I'm having a hard time with. I really like the helmet. I really like everything from like, you know, his belly button up. It's really, really nice, tough. Almost reminds me of like Gundam, but the bottom half is more samurai, and then it has a tail. So I just can't decide. If it was full samurai, like full skirt all around, or just the metal on the legs with no tail, I'd like it better. To be honest, I'd really like an option to remove the tail. I don't like it. But the skin is overall very, very well done. I think my favorite is from like the belly button up before the little belt piece there. Just the way everything's shaped and brought together. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Ash's skin that I have on him. And that probably reminds me of why I like it so much, because it reminds me of that. B, I just kind of threw some random things together. Again, I don't like the tail. I tried to go with like a different color scheme with some variations on the head and feet, because of the way he colors, you can get really nice scheming for like darker in the middle or darker on the feet and head. But again, I'm having a hard time coloring him because I simply do not like the tail, and it's actually ruining the skin for me. And last, but certainly not least, Zephyr Prime. Now, Zephyr Prime is another one of the ones that I'm going to contradict myself on. Earlier I said I didn't like so many points with Vauban, but these spikes work so well. I wanted to add more with the armor. And that, to me, the armor looks like it was built into the frame, because she's got so many sharp edges and so many points on her already that it just made sense. Now this one has A, B, C, and Z, and you have no idea how many times I've gone to Z thinking it's a just half cocked, like half tired or something, and I go into Z and think it's an actual fashion frame spot, but then I go into Flappy Bird, and yeah, I think my top score is like 2 on that, so I'm not the greatest. So we're going to close this one out with Octavia, because you know what they say, it's not over till the Octavia plays. I was going to come up with something very, very clever there, but it's pretty late at night right now, and I wanted to get this done. So we're going to say it's not over till Octavia sings, because what I was going to come up with wasn't going to make any sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys agree slightly with my fashion frame choices, and I'm not going to get slaughtered in the comments. Obviously everybody has their own color scheme, and if everybody was the same, it'd be very boring, and I wouldn't have any inspiration to draw from. So I'll see you guys later, and hope to see you in the next video.